This video is going to be a film study look at the production and recent high levels of efficiency that Jaxon-Smith Njigba is putting forth for the Seattle Seahawks offense. In fact, so much so that he's approaching the franchise record for receptions. If he keeps up at his current pace, it'll be close. So far this year, he's got 70 catches for 829 yards. Those are both team highs for the Seahawks. His 72% catch percentage is a 5% improvement since his rookie year. I think that is notable because this offense is only averaging 23 points per game, 22.7, I think, to be precise, but has had difficulties with being consistent. That's not the case for JSN. He did just have 4 catches against the Jets in their 26-21 victory. I will focus on his 4th and 6th catch in the second half that was important, critical to keep a drive going after an offensive penalty and allow the Seahawks to close to within 21-19, eventually taking the lead on a touchdown later in the fourth quarter. The level of efficiency he's playing at the last 3 weeks, I want to point this out. He's got 20 catches on his last 22 targets during Seattle's 3-game win streak. If you were to extrapolate out 1 week further, his last 4 games, first of all, how different would Seattle's season be if you were able to get that conversion in overtime and then defeat the Rams in week 9? In any case, 441 yards receiving for JSN in the last 4 games. If he keeps up this level of production, not necessarily the yards, but efficiency on catch percentage, then Tyler Lockett's franchise record of 100 catches is within reach. He is at, I believe, 5.83 catches per game so far through 12 games. And so he's at 70 catches. He needs 30 more catches to equal Tyler Lockett's record from 4 seasons ago, and so he'll be just short if he keeps up his current pace. I think it's entirely possible that he gets there. The Seahawks are going to need to win football games, so presumably you wouldn't see him resting in the last couple of weeks of the year with the playoffs in sight. Let's get to the film, and we'll focus this initially on his performance against the Jets, but then we'll also show the tremendous work that he's done all season long on third downs. So this is first quarter. Jets are up 14-0. It's a 1st and 10. You got an over concept with a clear out from the bottom side, out trying to basically prevent him from getting over the top, hence the name over concept. We're talking about this inside linebacker 44 attempting to run underneath of JS and then underneath of another one for a huge gain. Second quarter, 3rd and 9. He appears to be either checking with the referee and or confirming to make himself available, particularly against zones. In this case, Geno Smith is going to come back to the right, give a little bit of a fake, like he's going to throw to that side, to the receiver who appears to be going out into the flats, and that's going to take the inside linebacker with him. And so then JSN just settles in that open area once the linebacker vacates, makes the catch to get a conversion on Seattle's first scoring drive. One more time from the All-22. He only had 4 catches against the Jets, but I think they're significant because the yards per catch, number one. Number two, because of the situations. He's so valuable on third downs. I think that with the lack of a consistent run game, to have a guy like Tyler Lockett too, and DK Metcalf as well, to have a guy like JSN who can be that efficient and reliable on those third down situations gives Geno Smith a level of trust, number one. Number two, gives him some comfort, hopefully, in those situations where, with a crumbling offensive line at times, if he's able to get the ball out, he knows those guys will go and get it. So this will be one of those moments, if you ask me, that perfectly illustrates it. Third quarter, Jets are up 21-16. This is late third quarter, in fact. A little bit of a shake slant by JSN down the bottom side of the screen here, and he'll adjust it. Now, the reality is, initially, Geno Smith is looking up top. He's looking up to the top side. So JSN does a great job of doing things that Tyler Lockett used to do with a high degree of efficiency and consistency, I should say, which is against zone, settle into this area of the field in the middle, get the first down, get down, protect yourself. Conversely, against man, if the play's extended, it's third down, in this case fourth down, work to open space. I think he's got on this particular play, I think he's got great awareness level of understanding where Tyler Lockett's route is going to go here, like an in concept. And so then once Geno Smith extends the play, again, he was looking over here initially, possibly at DK Metcalf lined up against Ahmad Gardner. But in any case, once Geno extends the play, JSN's going to bring this route back into open space. His best game of the year, I guess, from a yards per catch standpoint, might be the Rams game. 7 catches. It did take 13 targets to generate those 7 catches. 180 yards, 2 touchdowns in their 26-20 loss. This is late in the second quarter. They've used this route combination multiple times this year. I seem to remember it against the Jets earlier on. Against the Patriots earlier on in the season, whereby you're getting a vertical and then one. Now these aren't drawn up exactly where the break occurs because of the depth of my screen, the width of the screen, and then 2 later deep dig routes, offering Geno Smith the opportunity to throw it to either one of those. Had another one, the game-tying touchdown, in fact, to help the Seahawks force overtime. This is after a 4th and 5 catch by JSN for 29 yards. Really badass throw from Geno Smith to stick this in there. The defender gets lost by JSN, and so he finds the open space. But sometimes you got to make the catch, and then you're going to have contact if you want to be able to score a touchdown. That's how compressed the space is down in the red zone like this. JSN has lost this defender, this nickel defender, and Geno Smith understands what the corner is doing in terms of hedging with Jake Bobo, and so he throws it in between the soft spot of the free safety, the trailing nickel defender, and the corner, not in that triangle that I just drew, but in the space that's between them, and then hold on to the football after getting decked by the outside corner. Third down work this year, tremendous. He almost reminds me of Amon-Ra St. Brown from the standpoint of he's got the ability to win on shake slants, same setup, and then break it to the outside, and or the China end whip route. So even you as a defender, once you get here and he starts to break to one side, he could snap that route back out to the sideline. China in, China out, what most people generally refer to as a whip route. This one does not fall under either of those categories. Really, it's a slot fade. Looks to on third down situations. Against the Patriots, did incredible work earlier in the season. Motions across from right to left for the offense, bottom to top on our screen. This is a 3rd and 4. And he's going to end up wide open. It is, in fact, Tyler Lockett's pick rub that frees him up, handles the nickel defender. JSN ends up being wide open. But the thing I've noticed about him this year, well, even at Ohio State, is once he catches the ball, his body's already in position to turn and take off and get yards if that space is available to him. He's got a great awareness of that space, if you ask me, in terms of whether it's man, zone, or, like in this case, his defender gets absolutely annihilated by the pick. 3rd and 6 against the Lions on the road. They got Carlton Davis III lined up over the top of him. He's going to sit down in the zone. This is one of those situations where Aaron Glenn is playing zone, even though it looked like man. Carlton Davis III, their top corner, lined up over JSN. Okay, that's man. Wrong. They drop out into a zone. And in this case, Tyler Lockett clears out CD3 enough such that JSN is able to fit underneath of it. So I'm talking about what's happening here, the dynamic between those two players, and then JSN's going to kind of sit down between Amik Robertson and CD3 on a 3rd and 6. Get down to get the first down and secure the football. Another 3rd down against the Lions. This one's a 3rd and 8. And they're going to drop out into what I tend to call their 2 deep, 4 under coverage. So 2 deep here, and then 4 under defenders. You can see the 2 underneath droppers that Jaden is able to go find space. Once Geno adjusts, catch it between Anzalone and a zone-dropping defensive lineman. You can see there's pressure by the blitzer. I think it's Kirby Joseph that Geno Smith has to navigate. Able to find the throw, find space for the throw in between 2 defenders. That coverage has been utilized often on 3rd downs against the Seahawks this year. It's interesting to me. I mean, it's a coverage that multiple defenses use across the NFL. Don't get me wrong, but it is somewhat rarely used because you're kind of voiding a zone. It's the zone in the middle of the field, and lo and behold, that's exactly where JSN goes here on this 3rd down against the Patriots, making it look like a mug blitz and then dropping out 4 under, 2 deep safeties. Same exact location on the field, pretty much. The JSN's done a lot of work this year. Geno Smith, the ball is already out. Catch in between defenders. Great timing, great trust. Those guys are well practiced together against each and every coverage. Just a 3rd and 15. Actually ends up being short. JSN is the guy motioning across from right to left for the offense, top to bottom for us. He's really smart with leverage. And so what I mean by that is if he's getting a teammate vacating space, he understands, I just got to make myself available. Right now, you can see Geno Smith already prepping the grenade to toss it out there. Very slick, very smooth, smart receiver. I think that, first of all, it's good to see him healthy after the stuff that he had to deal with at Ohio State his last season. Historic season the year before at Ohio State, by the way, the year before he came out from the draft. This one could almost be so with Seattle. Again, at his current pace of 5.833 receptions per game, he would be just short of the record, the franchise record for the Seahawks, that Tyler Lockett set in 2020. But if he keeps his current pace of production from the last 3 or 4 weeks, he could get there. It would be probably bittersweet for Tyler Lockett, but I'm sure that he would celebrate it because JSN seems like such a cool dude, number one, and he seems like there's never really anything arrogant when you listen to him talk or when you listen to him respond to questions about his play, about the Seahawks offense, or anything that occurred on the field. Easy guy to root for, if you ask me, at least from my observation on the outside. You guys are welcome to let me know what you think of that thought, number one. Number two, please give me some feedback on the plays that I used to illustrate his play in 2024, what I think is a representative sample of where and when he gets work done, and to be able to be the quarterback's most reliable target at the same time that you are the team leader in catches and yards, I think says a lot about the quality of his play and how often and consistently he's getting himself open. Essentially, when I say he reminds me of Amon-Ra St. Brown, what I mean is you could almost damn near throw him the football every play, and you're going to get something productive done. Appreciate you guys' time. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comment section, number one. And finally, if you think other Seahawks fans would enjoy this film study look at JSN's 2024 season with a focus on his play in the last 3 weeks, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.